don't know if this is a hot take. I'm gonna go with Khamzat. I think he's showed in that Burns fight. He ain't just a wrestler. He can stand in the fire and delivers some heavy hand. And I think you blend that with the wrestling, just like Oliveira, he can do a little bit of both. I think that opens up either the wrestling or the striking. I think he's able to beat Dricus.
MMA pros have recently reacted to Khamzat Chimaev's new training video ahead of his fight with Dricus du Plessis. However, Corey Sandhagen discussed the matchup's competitiveness, the possibility of an early finish, size and strength differences, grappling effectiveness, 5-round stamina, and overall conditioning.
Well, that'll be a good fight. It's hard to bet against either one of them, honestly, just because they've both been looking really awesome. I think that if Chimaev doesn't finish him early, I think DDP will probably win that one.
What do you think's more likely? Do you think it's an early finish, or do you think DDP will?
No, I don't think so. I think DDP will be a lot bigger and really hard to take down and hold down. And then I know that like grappling in the way that Chimaev does, you don't have like 5 rounds of that in you, or maybe he does, but I don't think that he will. And then I think as the fight goes on, he'll get a little bit tired, and DDP's size and his conditioning is such a factor.
Furthermore, Jack Hermanson examined the general competitiveness of the fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis, focusing on the early trouble Dricus may experience, the likely shift in momentum in the latter rounds, and the task Chimaev would face despite being favored.
It's going to be an amazing fight, and I think Khamzat is going to pull it off. But I do think that, you know, especially early, I think it's going to be tough for Dricus. But if he can push the fight into the later rounds, I think he can have an advantage. So it's going to be a really interesting one. But I'll bet my money on Khamzat in that one. But, you know, not like some people think that he's just going to run him over. But I think it's going to be a tough.
Khamzat Chimaev was recently spotted wrestling Olympic gold medalist Abdulrashid Sajalayev. After a rigorous training session, the two great athletes pushed each other with forceful exchanges, constant pressure, and better technique. The sparring showed Chimaev's raw strength and Sajalayev's precision, resulting in a fast-paced, aggressive confrontation between the wrestling powerhouses. Moreover, Curtis Blades highlighted Khamzat Chimaev's striking and wrestling skills, his ability to combine the two, his previous performances, and how that approach would compare to Dricus du Plessis.
I don't know if this is a hot take. I'm gonna go with Khamzat. I think he's showed in that Burns fight. He ain't just a wrestler. He can stand in the fire and delivers some heavy hand. And I think you blend that with the wrestling, just like Oliveira, he can do a little bit of both. I think that opens up either the wrestling or the striking. I think he's able to beat Dricus.
Caio Baralho noticed the match's unpredictable nature, as well as du Plessis' penchant to exceed expectations. Chimaev's explosive style, the effect of early aggression, how the fight might go over time, and his modest preference for Chimaev while admitting du Plessis' upset potential.
Because every time I bet against DDP, he shut my mouth. So it's hard, but he's facing Khamzat. You know, Khamzat is very hard in the first or second round, so I think he can get it done real fast. But other way, if it's not done real fast, I think Dricus, you're gonna make him have a hard night. So I'll go Khamzat. Maybe Dricus will shut my mouth again, but I'll go.
John Wood studied Dricus du Plessis' unconventional fighting style, physical strength, power, better cardio, ability to handle early pressure, and the chance of a late stoppage against Khamzat Chimaev.
Again, kind of like the Pena-Harrison fight, I'm going to go with Dricus on this one. I'm going to go with Dricus in a gritty, dirty, nasty fight. He's going to have a rough couple rounds, but I think he's going to stick around. I don't think he's an easy guy to finish. It's an awkward style. He's strong. He's big. You know, cardio issues I don't think are a thing anymore. I think that he is going to get deep into that fight, and I think he finishes.
Chael Sonnen analyzed the matchup's complexity, du Plessis takedown defense, ground control resistance, and the middleweight division's growing competitiveness. He also noted the buzz surrounding the 185-pound class.
I mean, this isn't a simple fight where you go, well, go out and take him down. It's like, yeah, good luck. Go out and take him down. Yes, true. And then you got to hold him there once you do it. Oh, and by the way, nobody else has taken down and held Dricus there. Like, this fight is starting to look different. The entire division is starting to look different. There's never been a time that 185 pounds has had such a spotlight on it. I'm watching this guy, Kyle Barrow, myself. I'm thinking this guy might quietly be the real assassin of that division, but that's not easy to say. I think Bo Nickel go all the way to the top. And I think that DeRinner is greatly underrated. And I don't think Sean Strickland is ready to move on just yet. Like, 185 is a really exciting proposition.
Chow discussed Chimaev as the favorite, the significance of the first round, early takedown situations, and how momentum could flip if Duplessis avoids the initial pressure.
A surprise that Chimaev is a favorite. No, I would expect him to be. But I also feel as though if I were predicting this today, I would lean Chimaev. As long as you didn't ask me a follow-up question. Like if I told you, hey, I think Chimaev's going to beat Dricus. Okay, great. If we all get up and walk out of the room, we're fine. The problem is if you're going to ask me how. How is he going to beat him? Because I am not fully confident that Chimaev can take him down at will. I'm not fully confident he can keep him there. We're going to know in the very first round. If Dricus gets taken down in the first round, things are going to unravel very quickly. But if he can defend a takedown for the entire first 5 minutes, it's only going to get easier to stay on your feet after that. It's an exciting match. I would expect Chimaev to be the favorite. And he is.
Luke Rockhold spoke on mindset and willpower in fights, Chimaev's aggression, the significance of early control, wrestling effectiveness, and how the fight dynamic could change in the later rounds in favor of Dricus Duplessis.
He's about the most technical guy. You know, it's the guy who wants it more. And
how do you think he fares against Khamzat?
I think Khamzat is a go for broke kind of guy. Khamzat, if he can't out wrestle you, he can't control you in that fierce state of direction of what he does. You know, I think he'll break. Khamzat will get him if he'll get him, but if he can't get him, it's going to be a hard third, fourth, and fifth round.
Right.
I think that's going to be all Dricus.
So if it goes into the championship rounds, you like the champ?
Yeah.
Reinier D. Ritter spoke on how many people dismiss Dricus Duplessis, his unconventional fighting style, and his ability to find ways to win. He emphasized Duplessis' ability to create momentum and finish fights stronger than when he started.
Khamzat versus Duplessis. Predictions?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are underestimating Dricus right now. If you look at like fights they've had, it looks a bit sloppy when Dricus fights, but he always gets them. He gets better as longer as rounds go on.
Reinier D. Ritter also discussed Duplessis' ability to handle early aggression, the chance of a late finish in the fourth or fifth round, and the overall ambiguity surrounding the fight's result.
He can survive that early onslaught of Khamzat, so I think Dricus can pull the win out. Maybe a late finish, fourth or fifth round. But we'll see.
Alexander Gustafsson praised Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling and grappling skills, as well as his physical strength in comparison to Dricus Duplessis, and the clear edge Chimaev has in ground exchanges.
You're like 2-3 weight classes above him. How strong is he? Because I've seen like he's a good training partner for you.
Yeah, no, he's very natural, strong, you know, and he has very strong genes, and he just comes with raw power. You know, all his power just comes from nature. You know,
just natural.
Right? Natural, yeah. So guys, to get the full All-Stars experience.
Kamaru Usman noted the strength of the middleweight division, public reservations regarding Khamzat Chimaev's performance versus Robert Whittaker, Dricus Duplessis' accomplishments, and the respect that all fighters deserve.
And just lastly, who do you see taking the belt at 185?
At 185? Listen, I told you guys, don't sleep on Khamzat. When he was fighting Robert Whittaker, everyone said, oh yeah, Whittaker's going to get him. Hey, don't sleep on him. Khamzat's extremely talented, extremely strong. He can shock anyone. But Dricus Duplessis, you can't sleep on him as well. He's the champion for a reason, taking out 3 champions back to back. So, hey, respect to all those guys. I respect every one of these fighters. You know, I know people at home were spectators and were fans, and they like to just kind of talk, oh, he had a bad performance, he had a boring one. But hey, you have to respect each and every one of these guys that's willing to get in here, you know, in little bitty gloves and damn near underwear and bare their soul in here. So you have to respect that.
Edmond Shahbazyan talked on the value of the early rounds, Chimaev's aggressive grappling, Du Plessis' perseverance, surprising style, momentum changes, and the general closeness of the match.
Actually, I think if it's the first 2 rounds, I think Chimaev, if he doesn't finish him in the first 2 rounds, Du Plessis should take it. But if it's in the first 2 rounds, if Chimaev's going to win, it's going to be in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. What's your official pick?
I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want to lean towards DDP because he's a tough dude, man, and he's just so awkward, and you never know, he might scramble out of those like positions Chimaev puts him in. But Chimaev is a dog too, man. The guy doesn't stop, and he's relentless with his grappling.
Coach Eric Nixick talked about Dricus Du Plessis' character growth since previous battles, his ascension to champion, his calculating style, timing disruption, and the strategy of early takedowns to defeat him.
How Khamzat and DDP plays out. I feel like DDP's going to be able to weather the storm the first 2 rounds and then start taking off the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. What do you think?
I do too. I've studied DDP a bunch. Super respectful, nice guy. He's very well coached. Just his overall development, he's jumped leaps and bounds in between that Brad fight to now being world champion. People think it looks erratic, but it's not. It's very calculated what he's trying to do. It's a lot of those same reps that he does, but there's a motion to him that's kind of hard to gather rhythm. How do you eliminate all that? Take the guy down, put him on.
Darren Till shared his personal feelings about Dricus Du Plessis, including his frustration with his unconventional success, respect for him as a competitor, strong support for Khamzat Chimaev, forecast of an early finish, and Chimaev's intensive preparation.
It's Khamzat, your boy.
No, look, with respect, I'm never going to look past Dricus because he trains hard, he's super dedicated, he's super strong, he's got that awkward style that doesn't make any sense. I think Khamzat will beat him inside the 2 rounds, I really do believe that. But look, Khamzat knows, I was speaking to Khamzat on the FaceTime the other day because I'm meant to be going out to Dubai to help with the camp. Khamzat knows it's a tough fight, but, you know, Khamzat trains like a beast. I do think Khamzat gets it in 2 rounds.
Robert Whitaker spoke on Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling technique, Du Plessis' guts and drive, his ability to bear early pressure, and the chance of momentum shifting in Du Plessis' favor later in the fight.
And DDP, the next fight. Who do you think's going to walk away as the champion?
I can't see anyone really stopping Chimaev's takedowns. Like, his takedowns are so hard to stop. It's super high level. Can DDP drag it into those later rounds? Can it get through the first grappling exchanges and then start to capitalize on his just like persistence, like doggedness to go away? Honestly, if Chimaev can't get DDP out of there, DDP wins. DDP wins almost every fight. You can't get rid of him, right? Because he's like bold.
Ariel Helwani discusses Dricus Du Plessis' ability to adjust mid-fight, the need of extending the fight to study Chimaev's style, dealing with early difficulties, and getting control in the latter rounds.
I think he takes him to deep water and he figures it out, and I think it's like a learning lesson for him and all this.
Bo Nickel highlighted Khamzat Chimaev's grappling edge, wrestling's dominance in modern MMA, his own wrestling experience, the sport's current top grapplers, and how difficult it is to overcome grappling heavy styles in today's fighting.
You know, just based on the styles, I just think the grappling style, you know, I might be biased. I'm definitely biased, but I think the grappling style is so hard to beat, and it's so hard to defend against. And I guess if you look at it from a analytical point of view, you have so many. It's really become the dominant force in the sport. You got Marab, you got Islam, you got Bilal, you got Khamzat. You even have you can even look at Topuria. Obviously, people know he's more of a boxing style, and he does a lot more striking. But his background is wrestling. You know, he did that before anything else, and so it's really wrestlers that are dominating. Grapplers that are dominating the sport right now, and so I think that I would give the edge to Ham.
Bo Nickel talked on Khamzat Chimaev's lack of late round experience, Du Plessis' stamina and late fight strength, the likely momentum change in the latter rounds, and the continued importance of wrestling as the determining factor in the matchup.
Still have yet to see Khamzat ever fight a 4th and a 5th round. We've seen that from DDP, and so that's where he would have the advantage. You know, if it goes deep, 4th and 5th round, I think that DDP might be able to pull it out, but all in all, I think the grappling style is definitely an overwhelming style to try to do.
Sean Strickland studied the grappling techniques of both fighters, Chimaev's Chechen wrestling history, the difficulties of dealing with that style, the possibilities of neutralizing it with smart tactics, and Du Plessis' chances if he controls the pace.
Chechen, I don't want to say Chechen, like Chechen is Swedish, but those little Chechen whore, like, dude, they can grapple. And like someone like me, who I've been training with these for years, I usually could counter wrestle and grapple them. So I just don't know if Dricus can be able to counter wrestle him.
Yeah.
But if he can, I think he wins all hands down. I mean, I sparred the Chechen whore, like, hands down. I think Dricus wins.
Sean Strickland discussed the technical aspects of the matchup, Chimaev's wrestling background, and Du Plessis' potential strategy. However, his analysis was overshadowed by a controversial and offensive remark about Chimaev's religious background, resulting in backlash and broader debates on xenophobia and cultural respect in MMA.
It's going to come down to, like, are you going to be able to, like, stop that counter? Are you going to be able to counter wrestle? And, like, you can. It's not hard. You just got to, like, it's not hard. But, I've been training these little terrorists for forever. So it's like, I just got to know how to do it.
Belal Muhammad addressed Khamzat Chimaev's recent grappling flaws, Du Plessis' tenacity and wrestling potential, cardio concerns and lengthier fights, and the challenges Du Plessis may present.
Du Plessis. But when you're looking at the guys he fought stylistically, right, he hasn't fought a guy who trying to take him down yet. It's all been strikers. His last two, it's Adesanya and Strickland. Like when he fought Brunson was killing him the first couple rounds. Yeah. And Brunson, he just gassed. We've seen him get taken down by Brunson. We've seen him get taken down by Whitaker. He's gotten taken down by a guy so easily. That's why I think Chimaev's going to walk through.
I know that's your boy, but Khamzat has got some of the worst cardio in the entire company.
You don't need cardio if you finish a guy in 2 minutes.
But Dricus isn't going to get finished. He's got an iron chin and an iron...
Demetrius Johnson stressed the necessity of tempo control. Du Plessis' striking edge stems from Chimaev's late fight exhaustion, the unpredictability of Du Plessis' stand-up style, and Chimaev's continual wrestling threat.
Chimaev cannot get him down.
He will, but yeah.
But let's say he does get him down.
Yep.
And he doesn't finish him, right? I think he's spent. Because you look at his fights. You look when he fought Gilbert Burns, when he fought Kamaru Usman. He had Kamaru Usman fully mounted, back hooks and everything, right?
Yep.
Working for the choke, pounding him, could not finish him.
Couldn't get him.
The rest of the time, he could not find it was shadow boxer. Granted, he might be sick or whatever, but if he cannot figure it out within those first 2 rounds or the first round he gets him down, I think DDP is going to do what he does best. Yeah. He's going to be awkward. He's going to be, do the kicks. And I think DDP is going to beat him.
Yeah,
I think Khamzat Chimaev is more athletic, more traditional, but I think that awkwardness of the old what did he say? The lanky man style.
Yep.
I think DDP is going to put him there.
Daniel Cormier studied the high-level quality of the battle, Chimaev's emotional triggers, Du Plessis' unconventional striking, fan perceptions, and the fight's general competitiveness.
I think it's a great fight, and you're right. You want to piss off Khamzat, call him scared. You want to make Chimaev mad, call him afraid of anything, and he'll come at you like a bat out of hell. I think it's a great fight. I think Dricus's awkward ability and his ability to create different angles to make you not recognize what you're seeing makes it a much tougher fight than most people may anticipate. A couple fights ago, everybody would have thought Khamzat would just run through Dricus Du Plessis. But if you today feel that way, you're out of your mind. If you today can openly say Khamzat Chimaev is just going to run through Dricus Du Plessis and is not going to be competitive, you have no idea what mixed martial arts is. This is going to be a fun fight. It's going to be a good fight, and I can't wait.
Cormier also addressed the two's lack of training history, building tension, differing styles, clashing, egos, and the additional drama of the build-up.
We know that these two guys don't like each other. We don't have the backdrop of them training prior like Strickland and Khamzat had, but you can tell they don't like each other. They are so completely different. And I think in that different is going to make for not only a good fight, but also a very fun build-up to the fight.
That ends today's video. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on their fight? Please share your ideas in the comments box. And if you liked the video, subscribe and like it. Also, Check out our other videos, which are currently presented on the screen.